Video games. They've always been a part of my life. I remember growing up playing games with my friends, but I also remember the times I was alone. One of the most formative games in my single-player experience was Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube. Loading up the game as a child, my natural instinct was fear, which is to be expected from a 5-year-old, but once I got past the title screen, it all melted away. And today we're going to be talking about that game. Let's go. Luigi's Mansion at its core is a simplistic game where you travel around a building, sometimes a mansion, and in the third game, a hotel. The games are called Luigi's Mansion, but somebody thought it was a good idea to use a hotel. To some, saying Luigi's Mansion is a game where you just walk around looking for a ghost is an insult. But really, that's all you're doing. But that's not why I'm bringing it up. In fact, I'm going to talk about how that base mechanic makes Luigi's Mansion an absolute masterpiece. From the very beginning, Luigi's Mansion demonstrates a sense of impending doom. The first time you take control of Luigi, you are unarmed, unable to jump like in all the classic Mario games, and are stuck in a mansion during a storm in a pitch-dark room. Now you could imagine, for some 5-year-olds playing that game, that would be quite terrifying. Now you know it wasn't me, because I'm scared of nothing, and totally wasn't very scared of Luigi's Mansion for a while. But regardless, somebody at Nintendo said, oh, let's make a game for 5-year-olds, where we put them in a mansion full of ghosts and convince little kids in the beginning of the game they're just gonna go through a haunted mansion. I mean, I swear to God, these guys were trying to make Resident Evil 5 Let's A Go edition for kids. So after giving me and many other children the sense of impending doom and depression, suddenly a key starts floating in the air, then a creepy little laugh plays, just to allow the children watching to know that they haven't earned sleep for that night. Now, as upset as I sound, I really think this intro is brilliant. It really forces the player to feel as if they have no alternative than to just go forward. And certainly, upon entering the room with the key you just found floating in the air, the game changes entirely. One issue many modern games suffer from is giving you a variety of abilities, but no real incentive to use them. I went back and played Force Unleashed, and there was this overwhelming feeling of having dozens of abilities, but only using like 3 or 4 of them. Like for me, once you unlock the move where you can hit someone with a lightning-infused saber, you pretty much unlock the most powerful move in the game. And I know someone in the comments is going to be like, actually the most powerful move in the game is blank. But frankly, the game was easy, not including maybe like 1 or 2 boss fights. And honestly, the trend of giving abilities just to say you have abilities is even leaking into role-playing games like Fallout. But you know what Luigi's Mansion gets right? You don't get any abilities. That's right, all you get is a glorified vacuum versus a shit ton of ghosts, with nothing but, again, that vacuum and a drugged up scientist on your side. And when I say that is the perfect combination, I mean it is perfect. In terms of gameplay, the game does provide a short tutorial, but honestly, I feel like the game would be better without it. Giving the player the vacuum and just sending them into the mansion would have been much better. but I understand what they're trying to do. They're just trying to help players out who might not be the best at video games or might just be adapting to the controls. But skipping right past the tutorial, we get into the real gameplay. Now remember what I said earlier about this game pretty much just being you walking around a mansion and collecting a shit ton of stuff. I mean, to be honest, the walking around part gets pretty old fast. Especially when you forget what you have to do and you don't want to read any of the text, and now you have to Google what you actually have to do, and it's just kind of a pain. But it does cement the idea of aimlessly walking around to clear this mansion. There's plenty of collectibles, so it really does add to the game sometimes and increase your willingness to explore. And collecting the ghost itself is a pretty basic task. You get a minor puzzle and you can take pictures of items in the room to help you solve it. And once you solve it, you can suck up the ghost. I mean, taking pictures of stuff in the room and learning more about the characters adds to the gameplay and the environment. It allows you to see how the ghost actually interacted with the world they're in. And occasionally, I hate to say this, I feel kind of bad for sucking up the ghost. But you know, I don't always feel bad, especially during the boss fights. That's right, the character building that Nintendo seemingly worked relatively hard on creating for each of the ghosts, it's thrown out the door as soon as you get into the boss fights. I mean, most of the characters that you have a boss fight with simply just want to kill you for pretty much no good reason. I'm not saying it's bad to have these boss fights. In fact, I would say they really do add to the gameplay and are some of the highlights of the game. But it is kind of weird to go from a ghost that doesn't want to be sucked up or to hurt you, to a ghost who simply wants to kill you just because you exist. The only level that sucks in terms of boss fights is the stupid Boo level. Whoever made that either hates me or hates people's joy. Like, the combat in that is so repetitive, hard to control, and overall a waste of time. But if you can look past that one boss fight, you'll notice there's a lot of gems in there, and honestly, you can't really top the gameplay from Luigi's Mansion. In terms of story, Luigi's Mansion is certainly not the pinnacle of writing. It's simply Mario's been kidnapped and you need to save him, good luck. But I don't think when Nintendo made the story, they really wanted to focus on saving Mario. I think they wanted to show Luigi's growth, as a character who is constantly scared and then suddenly has to become a brave hero through constant trials to test his abilities. On top of that, Nintendo really showcases their environmental writing. You can learn a lot of things about a character just by looking around their room, and as I said before, taking a picture of certain things can give you a little bit of a clue as to what the character is all about. This allows the player to really observe the lives the ghosts had. And though you've been tasked with sucking them all up into a tube and turning them into a painting, sometimes you almost feel bad. To conclude, there were many games from my childhood that I feel as though I cannot live without, and Luigi's Mansion is truly one of them. I constantly play the game and find myself thrilled with the amount of fun and nostalgia I feel. When interacting with the world, I truly feel like I was a small child again, and being able to dust off my GameCube and play Luigi's Mansion has truly made me feel lucky. I got to grow up playing such a great game. I would even say it's a masterpiece. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, so thanks for watching my video. I want to make more just like this and make a series hopefully and branch out to other types of video essays. If you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. I'm going to try to keep it brief. I should have my next upload in probably a week or two. It will probably be another GameCube game for this series I'm starting. So again, if you guys like this, please subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.